And we're back. Hello, everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters. You're listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 404, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. You can check out our trophy list on the PlayStation Network. I'm Anchorless_81. Jake is JakeSaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Share the show with your friends. Don't forget to rate us. This podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform. But for those of you who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 a month, it's a quarter a week, you can join the one and only $1 club, receive a free die-cut vinyl sticker in the mail that you can put on your skateboard or your car or your guitar case or your drum kit or whatever the hell you have, plus a shout out on the show. Most times, you also can get the show a day or two early, so visit patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome to show us your love and support. Remember, if you like our podcast, it does us so much good if you can like, comment, and subscribe to anything we post on YouTube. Even give us a thumbs up. That interaction helps put us in an algorithm so other people can discover us. With that out of the way, how are you doing, Jake?
It's cold, man.
Yeah, dude.
I went outside and I was like, it can't be. Like, it feels way colder than it is. But I mean, I don't know, what was it this morning? It was like, I don't know, 15 degrees or something like that. So it was, or 20 degrees. Like, it wasn't warm, but it was like, it almost felt as cold as it felt on Friday whenever it was like literally 2 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because maybe the humidity is a little bit higher today. Things are a little bit wetter, so it like felt a little bit colder outside because of that. But yeah, that was a thing. I had to do some running around today, but I don't know. I'm doing okay. I got shit to. Just fucking. It's like time's flying by too fast.
Yeah.
I need to like pause. We need to like put a pause on the movement of time on like a Saturday or something, so that I have more time to get stuff done, because quite frankly, this whole thing with the holidays coming up, and I'm not even remotely prepared for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost one of those things where it's like, I know we've been bitching about this for weeks now, but I almost wish that like there gets to be a point where you should be able to just like throw a flag and be like, I can't participate in the holidays this year.
Yeah, it's just too much.
I don't have
me.
Time. But it's like, it's impossible. You can't do that. I mean, you have to make an effort to do it. And usually if you do...
Yeah, dude, not to interrupt, but you just want to tell people and just be like, listen, it's just a tough year for me. Like, if you truly love me, you won't hold me accountable for the shit I don't
No,
get
it's not even that. It's like I want to do it. It's the problem is that I don't have the time.
Yeah.
So it's just the stress that's accompanying with it. So it's like, oh, I'm fucking... it's also the busiest time of the year for me with work. Like, for example, I didn't leave work until probably 6:45 on Friday, which is pretty late, and I got there a little bit early, so it was a long day, and it's basically the rest of my fucking... And then I had to take a day off today because of some personal appointments and things, so now I'm even more behind, so I'm feeling the pressure of that a little bit. But I have one of the things that does kind of help out a little bit is we put up our it's kind of hard to say. I mean, maybe you can see.
Yeah, it looks nice there.
Christmas tree, right? So we put up we don't have a lot of Christmas decorations, but one thing I insist on doing every year is putting up a tree, and we have a couple like little things, but like nothing really crazy. And I just sometimes will just come into our study here where the Christmas tree is, with the lights out, like the room lights out with just the Christmas tree lights on.
Oh, it's so nice.
And I just put on some like fucking Christmas music or something and just like sit in my office chair with my eyes closed. And it kind of helps me, like, it sounds so fucking stupid, but it helps me like mellow out a little bit and get a little bit more into the spirit of Christmas to sort of recharge me a little bit, because I really try hard whenever all this stuff is kind of piling up at the end of the year to not resent the whole thing. Like, I don't want to get to a point in my life where I resent the whole thing, because it's more than just about my personal experience. It's like the time that you spend with family and the time that I spend with Sarah and, you know, seeing people that we don't get to see very often and stuff like that. So I try to think about it a little bit more outside of like my own personal struggles with it. And then I also think about it from the perspective of like, you know, a family that has like 4 kids. And it's like, how fucking much more difficult is their Christmas than mine is. So like when you've got to like plan all that stuff out and everything, and so
no doubt.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. It was a long weekend. I have a pipe that's leaking in my basement, so I was building like a whole section of plumbing in my basement. I pre-built so that the section that's leaking, I can literally just, when I have the time to turn the water off and drain all the lines, I just cut the pipe out, put the new piece in there, shark bite it into place, and then then everything should go back together. Yeah. It sucks because it was, dude. So it's like it's the main trunk coming out of my well, hits a T, then goes through like 2 other T's, through like some fucking valves, through like to like different areas of the house. And because of where this leak is at, I have to replace all of that stuff. And so I have, like, because of me doing my second story in my bathroom, I have all the shit to do PEX and like all of the crimping tools and a lot of the fittings and a ton of PEX pipe and all this stuff. But I was like, maybe I could just replace, because it's just a small section. Maybe I'll just get some little pieces of copper and some shark bites, and I'll just do it all in copper again with shark bites instead of sweating the pipe. Here's the problem is I need like 12 fittings. And I don't know when the last, like, I don't know if you remember how much shark bites are for copper, but they average like $20 a piece. So
the only time I ever used them was for a water softener when I had to replace that.
Right, and you're probably buying like a couple, right?
2 or 3. Yeah.
Whereas like, so it's like, okay, it cost me $40, but I put this water softener in fucking 2 seconds, so it's totally worth it. Yeah. But for me, it was like, okay, I'm like, you know, I'm laying all this shit out at Home Depot, and they've got like a bunch of boxes in that aisle, and I've got all the pieces, and I'm laying them out like exactly like they are laid out in my basement.
So you don't have to make a second trip back and shit.
Well, well, I'm just trying to see like what all fittings I need and like how they're gonna go together and everything. And then I do that, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm gonna have like $300 in parts here. And then I was like, and I'm looking at the fucking PEX fittings, and they're like $3. And it's like, well, I have the crimper, I have the fucking rings, I have the fucking pipe. So what I ended up doing was I got all the fittings to do the PEX. The only portions that were shark bites were to go between the copper and the PEX. Because you can put either copper or PEX in a shark bite fitting. So a lot of times, like, you can cut a copper pipe, put a shark bite on, and then start PEX right there and continue on. Yeah. People don't know PEX is plastic waterline. It's like what all modern houses have. So so what I did was I like on the floor, laid out and measured and crimped this whole section together with all these fittings and elbows and T's and valves and everything.
You're like, fuck it. Yeah.
And then so I'm like holding it up underneath the existing lines. Everything looks perfect. So this coming weekend, because we had some shit going on this weekend, I couldn't shut off the water. So like this coming weekend, I'm just going to shut the water off, drain all the lines out, and I'm just going to fucking cut these 4 lines, hope this just drops in and there's no leaks. Because if there is, it's my main water line. Yeah, you'll be fine. So my entire house is shut off from water. And if you have a well, especially, like, I mean, it doesn't matter if, like, it's for the water. It's the main water line. Doesn't matter if you have a well or not. But like, you can't flush the toilet. You like, you can't use the sink. You can't or anything. So, so probably what I'll do, smart thing to do, just pro tip for anyone: if you're working on the water lines and you're not sure if you're gonna get it right the first try, get like one or two 5-gallon buckets and fill them with water before you shut the lines off. Because then if you have an emergency and you have to use the toilet, you just fill the bowl, the back of the toilet from the water buckets, and you can keep using your toilet. So just a little pro tip out there. But anyway, that was a little, I don't know why I fucking got off on that. But so yeah, over the weekend, I prepped that. I cleaned a whole part of my basement that has been in dire need of cleaning for like a year almost. Just a lot of like, because I'm getting my furnace service tomorrow morning, which is like a whole thing. But dude, it sucks. Like if I had like one of these companies that does this, now let me get. I don't know if I'd be able to do this, right? You know, because you never know, but. You would think if you had one of these companies that did this type of work, you would work like Wednesday to Sunday. And then because there are tons of people that can't take off work so that you can come fucking tune my furnace.
So your weekends
So
are
it's
cranked.
like, right. So it's like if you had... Or even if you had like a rate where it's like, hey, we'll do a tune-up on Saturday, but it's going to cost you twice as much.
Yeah.
But you could give someone that option, and then you could pay a guy overtime to work that day or whatever. But like, it's like with banks, you know what I mean? Where it's like, how do you expect anyone to get fucking banking done? It's just like, oh, sorry, you can just not get paid today,
right? So
that you can go fucking deposit money to the. It's like. It's so stupid. All of it's stupid. But I get it. It's just everyone has adopted this 9-to-5 strategy, and everyone works on that strategy. So it is what it is.
And every local business dies because of it.
Yeah, but it is whatever. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, I guess just have to deal with it. Luckily, I can like work from home in the morning while the guy's fucking with my furnace, and then I can go into the office. But it sucks because I hate working from home. Well, at least like when I know I'm gonna go in anyway, because it's like, how do you get motivated to get started to work? Because then like 3 hours later you're just gonna pack up and go into the office. So it's like, I don't know, it's a whole thing. So I'll probably just make phone calls and do emails in the morning, and then actually do like more focused work when I get to the office. But
good.
Anywho, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a bit of random, but that's where I'm at.
Oh, you're good, man. No, I didn't really do anything. I'm a little I feel like I'm under the weather a little bit.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But back to work. It's Monday, recording on Monday, and this will air early for those who are part of our Patreon. If you're not, you can access the show on Wednesday. All that to say, 2 days ago on Saturday, I played a benefit show for the Greater Erie Community Fund or something. I don't know what the hell it was. It was a good cause. And it was kind of cool because it was a punk show, and with the music that I play acoustic, I usually play singer-songwriter stuff, and it's more of a sit-down dining brewery environment, but this was a legit punk show at a place called The Bunker that's out in Erie, PA. It's attached to Lavery Brewing Company. And there were some punk bands playing, and I got a call. We couldn't do it, Jake. They did ask if the Flood could do it or if One Up by Land could do it, and our drummer Nate was busy, tied up with work, and then Jimmy, his kid in One Up by Land, he had a hockey game or something. So I was like, dude, I'll come play, but it's just going to be me and a guitar. And they're like, dude, we'll have you in whatever iteration you can show up as. And as a result, because it was just me and acoustic, I opened up everything, started at 7. And I got to say, man, I did something a little different, and it was fun. I didn't know how many old heads were going to be there, people who knew me from my old bands and stuff. So I played a Signal Home song, played a twerp song, played a couple One Up by Land songs, did a Jawbreaker cover, kept it kind of punk rock, and then kind of closed out with just a couple of my acoustic things. And it went over really, really well. And I got a lot of compliments. So in one way or another, I kind of felt like I revalidated anybody's concern or question about whether or not I could still do that kind of shit. And it was nice because a lot of these folks see you doing the acoustic guitar and they just assume it's going to be like what I typically do, right? But I got up there and I found some songs that worked really well on acoustic and played them, and it went over really well. Got a lot of compliments, and the sound was great. That room's like a really big echoey room. So all the bands that evening. Just they were playing just fine, but it was just like a wall of sound, right? So like they didn't really come across very clear or it wasn't very discernible like what they were doing, because it was just like, even though the drums were mic'd and it just was just bouncing around in there. So I think that room really lent itself to what I was doing, and it really just sounded crisp and good in there. It was cool. It was like a natural reverb for my voice and the guitar. So that was fun Saturday. Didn't really do a whole lot. I feel like there was something Friday evening, but I can't remember what. I wish I could remember, man. It's just like you said, man, that the weekend just disappears. I was at work on Friday, and I make rounds, and I talk to the people I work with every day. And Friday, usually I tell them Happy Friday, but as a joke, I was just like, all right, guys, it's almost Monday. Let's go. It's Friday night, and they're just like the last thing anybody wanted to hear. But it's so true, man. Like, here we are. We're already back to the grind, the weekly grind. I fucking hate the 9 to 5 Monday through Friday work schedule. I wouldn't be any better for a second or third shift either. I just think we work way too many hours in America. And that sounds so... Yeah. Dude, I've got no problem working. I'm not one of those people that half-ass the day, you know, just kind of lounge around, dude. Like, I work nonstop when I'm at work. And I'm burnt out come the weekend, and then you want to live a little bit. Like, I'm already tired. It's almost 7 o'clock. I got home at like I don't know, 5:45. Got out of my work clothes, did a couple things around the house real quick, and then we're doing this, and it's almost 7 already. And it's like, where the fuck does the time go? Like, how do you get to use it in a way that you want to? That's not to say I don't mind doing this. I'm just thinking about, like you said, the Christmas shit. I actually am doing Christmas this year for people, and I have packages after packages showing up at the house. And I don't think my parents listen to this podcast, but if you are, mute it, because I'm going to tell Jake how he inspired me. You were talking about doing like personal gifts for people, and I thought, man, it would be a really nice gift. I know probably a lot of families do this, or siblings or whatever, for their parents, but there's not one picture in existence where it's just me and my 2 siblings. And I was like, that's fucking kind of sad. And my mom's like a real family person, and I was like, man, I bet you she would love that. So I ordered this, like, I figured out this really nice Canon printer I have can print 13 by 19 borderless prints. So I ordered the paper for it. I got it refresh on ink. I bought this nice matted frame, and I'm going to go take pictures on Thursday with my Canon of my siblings and I. Hopefully they turn out good. So now I'm kind of stressed about that and what the weather's going to be like. And I looked up like when the golden hour is for photography in this area for that day, and I'm going to try to hit like a couple spots, get a nice picture of me and my brother and sister for my mom. Because I think that's something she'd really like. That's kind of a personal touch thing, something I've made. So everyone else is just getting bullshit gifts, but I thought that'd be a cool gift. You inspired me slightly. I know it's not anything I'm doing with my hands, but it's something within the realm of possibility that I could get somebody in my family that would actually appreciate it.
I mean, the fact that you are taking the effort to organize all of that is, I think, worth something.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think so too. And it'll be something that my mom will really like. She's got all kinds of family photos and stuff up on the walls of the house, but there's not any single one of just me and my 2 siblings. You know, there's like maybe a family picture of all of us together, or my sister and her kids, or just her kids, or just my brother, or, you know, whatever. But there's none of just the 3 of us, and I think that's something that's been missing. So I think she'll dig it. So hopefully it goes well.
Nice.
I'll get the fucking pictures done, and I'll fucking put them on my computer. They'll all be like blurry and grainy or like shitty looking. That'll be my luck. I'm going to make sure I snap a couple with a cell phone just to make sure I got something. But to blow it up that big, you know, you really got to have probably something a little nicer. Maybe not. I don't know. But we'll see. But anyways, enough about all that. Let's get into listener feedback, man. Every episode we talk about some listener feedback. We had somebody comment on our last episode. Again, this is episode 404. So in 403, I was talking about a board game called Thunder Road Vendetta. And Duke McAwesome writes in, and he says, hey, Thunder Road Vendetta is a ton of fun. Chop Shop is probably my favorite expansion for it because it adds asymmetrical player and car powers. And then he says, for Hero Quest, do you use the official roll and move rules, or do you homebrew movement rules? I will say, Duke McAwesome, I wrote you back already on YouTube, but if you didn't see it, I picked up Chop Shop. I don't have it yet. I ordered it direct from Renegade Game Studios, and I also got the something else from them. I can't remember what it was. Another add-on expansion. I really think the gameplay is fun. It's quick. And so I'm looking to expand that game a little bit right from the jump. But as far as Hero Quest, man, I took a lot of time, and I came up with like probably 50 to 100 random dungeon encounters. And I tailored them all to Hero Quest. And I had them professionally printed on Hero Quest size cards, and I had like my own backing made. And we used this deck. And for instance, just to explain the way it works, I was a little more abbreviated on YouTube, but I won't get into it too far. But for anyone curious, the way it works is at any time, the heroes have to roll for movement, but at any time if they roll snake eyes or 2 1s, movement, you roll 2 d6s. If you roll 2 1s with a roll for movement, it's instantly a random dungeon encounter. I fan out the cards. The hero who rolls it pulls one. Me as Zargon, I read the encounter. Sometimes they're really beneficial for the heroes, and sometimes they're not. And each card can have a positive, neutral, or negative effect on the hero depending on the way it plays out. So the cards are kind of reusable in that way. And I'll give you just a brief example. Maybe I think I have one similar to this. Like, you encounter a hero trying to make his way out of this dungeon. Roll a combat die to determine the outcome. And then it's like, if you roll a white shield, this. If you roll a black shield, this. If you roll a skull, this. And obviously the good outcome is typically the black shield, because that is harder to get than the others. The neutral outcome would then be like the white shield, and then the negative outcome would be a skull. Not always. I mix it up a little bit just so the heroes are on their toes. But maybe the bad outcome in this situation is that the hero mistakes you for an enemy and lashes out at you, lose a body point, right? Maybe the neutral one is that he passes out at your feet or dies at your feet, and you have no idea. He has no information to give you, right? And maybe the good outcome is that he warns you about an unopened door in this dungeon. Choose any room beyond an unopened door when the heroes decide to use it, and reveal it to them before they open the door, so they know what they're walking into. So those random dungeon encounters, there's tons of them. And as we use them, I leave them face up in the deck. So we don't return to that card until the other 65 or 70 are used, and they pick an outcome, and then we recycle it. That's how it works. So it kind of adds a little tension to the die rolls, especially when they're trying to just find the stairs or the door to exit, and they've killed all the monsters. They're just praying, like, one guy will leave, another hero will leave, and then, like, the last 2 heroes are real close, but they're like, just don't roll the fucking snake eyes, because sometimes you can generate another wandering monster, some sort of boss, or whatever. So it just adds a little bit of fun to the roll to move mechanic, although it is antiquated. That out of the way, let's talk about games we're playing, Jake. I beat the Battlefield 6 campaign this week. Felt good. Popped the trophy for that. And I'll say that it was good. It got a little shitty towards the very end. Like, I'd say the middle of that campaign is the best part of it. It doesn't hold a candle to previous Battlefield campaigns at all. But I don't know about 5. Definitely not Battlefield 1, which was the World War I one, or the Battlefield 4 campaign, or 3 campaign for that matter. Those were all good. I think 3 had a campaign also. But this one was fine. It was serviceable. It wasn't as disappointing as the reviews made it out to be, but it was kind of meh for the most part. But I'm glad to have gotten through it. And on top of that, I'm just doing Arc Raiders still with my boys when we get a chance to game, go out in a couple raids. And gaming really has been put on the back burner for me lately. Just busy with Christmas stuff and holiday stuff and doing other things, shows, practicing. But I think I talked about Valiant Hearts already. But in case I didn't, I beat Valiant Hearts. I think I already talked about that. But that was one game beat that I got through the whole thing, and I thought it was good. Maybe I hadn't beaten it last time I talked about it, but I am through the game, Valiant Hearts 2, and I enjoyed it. Jake, what about you?
Well, I went back through most of Dispatch again. I made a couple of different decisions during pivotal parts in the game just because I was curious how it would impact the experience. Nothing really major was different, mainly because I still chose like a very like altruistic kind of gameplay path. Whereas I think there are ways where you can like really fuck up the game if you want to. But I just like don't really want to see the game that way. I mean, I kind of want to, but I just don't know if I want to play it, like put all this effort into replaying it just to see some really shitty stuff happen. So I might just like look up on YouTube like what happens when these certain things happen because it's very interesting. I will say I still really like it. I think I'm kind of done with it now, though. I don't want to say I want to play it again, but it's like I really enjoyed the delivery, the voice acting, the animations, the characters, everything in it was really good, and I would love to get more of it at some point. So I have to imagine with the success of this game that they're going to make another one. Whether or not it's going to be a completely different thing or if it's going to be actually like Dispatch 2 or something, I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. But other than that, I really haven't had a lot of time to play games this week, but this morning I started playing or was it last night? I don't remember. But I started playing I was looking through the PlayStation Plus extra catalog, and they have a thing that's like games that are getting ready to leave the service. And one of the games that was on there was the definitive edition of Grand Theft Auto 3. And I was always curious about these games, but I never picked up the definitive edition of the Grand Theft Auto games because it was like supposedly really broken and it had all this like AI shit in it that didn't work right and all this crap. And so I started playing Grand Theft Auto 3, and it's a PS2 game. They just gave it modern controls and they smoothed out the textures a little bit, but there's still something very charming about it. I mean, it's very much a product of its time. They didn't make any major changes to it other than the controls and stuff. But I don't know. I'll probably just I'm having a problem right now where like nothing is like I think the problem is that like I loved Ghost of Yotei, and then I loved Dispatch right after that. And now it's like I'm feeling this void of like something that I want to play. And so I downloaded Grand Theft Auto 3 Definitive Edition, but it's leaving the service next weekend, so I'm probably not going to finish it. But I also downloaded the game Somerville. Are you familiar with this game?
No.
It's like made by one or more of the guys that did like Limbo and Inside.
Oh, cool.
So it's like that kind of game. And then I also downloaded I didn't realize this, on PS Plus Extra, or maybe it's just on PS Plus, we have the Silent Hill 2 remake. So the one that just came out.
Wow.
This past year. So I downloaded that too. So I'm going to probably be dinking around with those 3 games and see which one kind of grabs me. I mean, maybe none of them will grab me. I don't fucking know. But hopefully something kind of grabs me. And because I was actually thinking maybe about starting Death Stranding 2. I was thinking about starting that. But I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. Like, I feel like I have to be in a very specific brain space to play that game.
Yeah.
And I'm just not. I bet if like I started it, I might be kind of into it. But I don't want to bounce off it like I did the first Death Stranding the first time I played it. So, yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. I don't really have a lot to say. Just that I stand by the games I talked about last week, and I'm dicking around with fucking Grand Theft Auto 3 Definitive Edition at the moment.
That's what's up.
And I don't know, like, if there's any new game. Like, I haven't really been looking to see if there's any new games that have come out recently that might hold my interest or whatever. But I don't know. That Marvel game,
The beat 'em up game,
looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, my buddy Neil plays it. He said it's great. I brought that up last episode, I think.
Yeah, I think it came out last week or something. Yeah, I don't know. There's some possibilities there, but I'm not sure because I actually thought about going back to like Shredder's Revenge.
Cosmic Invasion. I'm sorry, is what it's called.
Yeah. But I say, like, part of me was thinking about playing a game like that, like getting into Shredder's Revenge again, or the Cowabunga Collection, or Streets of Rage 4, or...
Did you play Streets of Rage 4?
I don't know if I ever finished it, but I did. I played a little bit of it, I think.
It's a masterclass in what these beat-em-ups should be.
Yeah. So, anywho, I'm in kind of like a fucking, I don't know. I feel like I'm floating in space right now when it comes to video game playing. So if anybody has any suggestions, feel free to recommend them. Just don't recommend. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't recommend any roguelikes, big box, and don't recommend a multiplayer game.
I don't know if Big Box is even still with us. I hope he is. I loved his comments, his or her.
Yeah. So, anywho, we can move on.
All right. Well, let's get into the news. We talk about some news news things each and every episode. And thanks to Jake for piecing together the news points today. I did not get around to it. We really ought to just make this a living document throughout the week and just throw something on every time we see something. But, dude, I'm too fucking busy. I just can't do it. I had to just be disciplined. I had to be disciplined with how good with getting better at guitar. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. When I'm tired, I don't want to do shit. Anyways,
better to wing it.
Yeah, dude, you can take the reins and we can just go through this.
So the first news point here is that, and this is, I guess, maybe a little bit surprising for those Tekken fans out there. I'm a lapsed, like, casual Tekken fan. Tekken 3 was like one of my favorite games, fighting games ever. I was like totally hooked on that game. This is like before trophies and everything. I like did all of the stories. I unlocked all of the characters. I fucking loved it. And I played it late. I think I played it on it was a PS1 game, but I got the greatest hits version and I played it on PS2 before Tekken Tag Tournament came out, which I think was between 3 and 4. Anyway, but Tekken, huge fighting game franchise. The long-running director, Katsuhiro Harada, is apparently leaving Bandai Namco. He's leaving Tekken behind after 30 years. And which is sad in its own right, but the thing that I found interesting about this story was that as a parting gift, he made himself personally mixed up a 1 hour long track that is like a mashup remix of a lot of the Tekken music over the past 30 years. So I thought this was kind of cool. It's almost like a Kojima-esque kind of thing to do. Like, this is like kind of something that maybe he would do in his free time or whatever. And there's like an article where he's talking about, he's been wanting to do this for a long time, but he never got around to it, and blah, 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 blah. And so he's finally released this now on SoundCloud as he's exiting Tekken finally, and or Bandai Namco. And I think like when I'm at work tomorrow, I might just like put this on and kind of jam through it because I love stuff like this. Like, I'm not like the biggest video game music stan. Like, I'm not the type of person that's just like, oh, I fucking, I get on the treadmill to the fucking Skyrim soundtrack. Like, that's not me. I mean, I do love some video game music, and the Skyrim soundtrack is fucking amazing. But like, I'm not like a guy that's sitting here, other than very classic music, like. Think about old Mega Man chiptune music or old Mario music or whatever. These things really stick with you. So, and I was playing Grand Theft Auto 3 today, and I know this is mostly licensed music, But dude, that soundtrack just like slapped me back to fucking the early 2000s.
Which one?
And like Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, yeah.
I was playing the definitive edition today, and it just like these songs come on. It's like, oh, I know all the words to these songs because I played the fucking shit out of Grand Theft Auto 3 20 some years ago, and it's really, really cool. So, but anyway, pretty neat little thing. I like that he did it. Sad. I'm curious what they'll do with Tekken with him gone. If they're gonna make a Tekken 7 or Tekken 8. Tekken 9? I don't fucking know. They're on a lot of Tekkens right now. I think maybe Tekken 9 would be the next one. I think they're on Tekken 8 now.
Yeah.
Because people love the newest Tekken. And if he leaves, like, what's the next one? Is it going to be without him? And if so, like, is it going to be that good? Because I think he's, like, kind of the secret sauce to that franchise. So
yeah,
we'll have to see. We'll have to see how much he really matters when the next one comes out. Do you have any thoughts on that? I don't know if you're not really a Tekken fan or not, I don't know, but maybe if they have thoughts about this music thing.
Yeah, my opinion on the music thing. You said it was just a playlist that he made on YouTube or something.
It's not a playlist. It's a single 60-minute track that he has on SoundCloud that is just a mashup / remix of all the Tekken music with like fucking like samples from the games and shit. It's like something that he just made. It's just one track that's 60 minutes long or something.
So he spliced together.
Yeah, he edited the whole thing himself.
Huh. That is kind of cool. My initial thought was this is the play. Because I was thinking like copyrights, all that kind of stuff. Do you really want to repost this music on your website? But like just going on YouTube and having your own channel and just making a playlist of your favorite music is the way to tell people this is what I would jam, but I misunderstood. So yeah, dude, cool. I think that's cool. That's dedication to somebody who loves what they did and wants to share what they did in a different way. It's kind of weird that to think that somebody with so much lineage with the Tekken franchise is bowing out now, but it's cool. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
Everybody's got to have a swan song, and
dude, I mean, the dude's been fucking ripping for 30 years. I think he probably deserves, like, if he's retiring, good for him, because he's probably what, in his 50s?
Yeah,
maybe even in his early 60s. So
yeah,
the dude might just want to bow out and fucking, I don't know, live the dream. And if that's the case, then I'm all about it. But then again, I'm not, one of these people that's fucking, dying on Tekken. So, but yeah.
Well, the
good
one
for
thing,
that guy.
Yeah, I don't even think SoundCloud pays out like for streams. I mean, you might get royalties on the back end, but I don't think that they're a per listen that you get credit like you would on like YouTube or something. I don't think it's like that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's like the last platform I would use if I were trying to make money off people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's screen.
So
go ahead.
We can SoundCloud was intended to be like a creator sharing creative shit kind of space. Like, it wasn't intended to be like a monetary platform.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's why I like that he used that platform. I think that's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, a couple of leaks, or not necessarily leaks, but announcements, which I think is so fucking weird for the Game Awards. Firstly, there's going to be a new Tomb Raider project announced at the Game Awards, and this was literally just tweeted by Jeff Keighley. He's like, hey, fucking new Tomb Raider at the Game Awards. Tune in to find out. And then on top of that, they have also announced that there is the developers behind Phantom Blade Zero are promising a release date at the Game Awards as well. If you guys don't remember, Phantom Blade Zero, because there's so many of these fucking games now, Phantom Blade Zero is that game. It was announced like 2.5 years ago. It was like a samurai kind of game. It looked like a mix between like samurai / From Software kind of thing. And I remember the thing that really stood out about it was that, one, it was like a Chinese developer, I think, which was very, very novel at the time. And two, it had a very like impressively flowing combat style that like didn't seem like it could be real. even though it was supposedly gameplay footage.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And ever since then, we really haven't heard a lot about this. But they've finally announced that they're announcing a release date at the Game Awards. So, Fred, I will ask you, and I think there's some other stuff too, but these are just the two things that kind of stuck out to me. First, how do you feel about announcing announcements? And second, do either of these things attract your attention? I assume Tomb Raider more so than Phantom Blade, but what do you have? Do you have any interest in either of these things?
Well, to tackle your first inquiry, announcing announcements is like let's tease a tease, right? It's like a double tease, and it's just like they're doing whatever they can do to make sure that we tune in. I understand what the move is here. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I hope that, like, here's the thing with these game shows. They always wait to, like, the very end. And like, okay, that's it. Oh, actually, we have one more thing. And then they drop this mega bomb, right? And everyone's like, what? People are just, creaming their pants or whatever. Whatever, not to be disgusting, but that's like everybody's just going nuts, right? And it's like if you tease all of your things or most of them, everyone's going to still expect that last thing. But if you somehow have teased everything and you don't have that final thing, people are going to be disappointed. But if all you have is the final thing, they're going to be disappointed. People still want to be surprised. I don't want to know what's going to be on this thing. I'm probably not going to watch it live, but I would like to have some surprises. When it comes to Tomb Raider, Crystal Dynamics was hit with a lot of layoffs, dude. So I don't know. For everything I've read, they said that this is going to be not canon to any other of the Tomb Raider stories that have ever been told before.
Do we know that it's from Crystal Dynamics?
I don't know that we do. I'd have to look at the article and the speculation and whatnot. No, we don't know.
Because I thought Jeff's tweet just literally says, like, the future of Tomb Raider. It doesn't say anything about who's doing it or, like, what the game... Dude, for all we know, it could be, like...
It does say, on Push Square, it does say that this next Tomb Raider game, this is quote unquote, the next Tomb Raider game is expected to be a completely original entry that's its own standalone thing and isn't tied to any of the previous storylines. Crystal Dynamics, the developer making the game, has actually been hit by layoffs as of late. But in terms of the game, at least, it appears the studio is ready to show what it's working on. I don't know.
Okay, I guess we'll see. I mean, it isn't tied to any of the previous storylines. Like, does that mean it's not canon, or does that just mean that you don't have to play the previous games?
It's its own... Maybe that's what it means. I would hope that you're playing... Here's the thing, man. I think people are going to look back at those 3 Tomb Raider games as, like, fucking good games. The reboots.
I mean, I still haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which was the third one. I will maintain that it was always like the Tomb Raider Uncharted thing, right? I will maintain that at the time, the Tomb Raider reboot played better than Uncharted, but Uncharted was a much better overall experience in terms of, like, narrative and characters and writing and, action set pieces and all this kind of stuff.
Dude.
The thing that bugged me about Tomb Raider was that the gameplay was awesome, but the story and stuff was all just kind of like, meh. Especially, like, the fucking end where they, like, try to shoehorn some fucking ghosty shit in there.
Well, they always did that with Uncharted too, though.
Yeah, I mean, at least the first 2 they did, right?
Well, let me say this. Let me just say this, because this is awesome. And this is significant. This is fucking significant, at least I think. That Tomb Raider trilogy that we're talking about, right now in the PlayStation Store, they have a Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor trilogy. Usually priced at $49.99, on sale for $10. For all
Is that the 3 new games?
Yeah.
Or is it the old stuff? It's the 3 Crystal Dynamics games. Well, the third one wasn't Crystal Dynamics.
Hold on.
Was somebody else?
Now I have
Or is
to
it different?
look. Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy. What does Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy? It includes Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So it is the 3. Dude.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was not developed by Crystal Dynamics.
But that's
it was
weird.
developed by Eidos Montreal.
So, that was my least favorite one. I think the first one was my favorite.
Dude, it was really good. I'm with you. I didn't particularly like Rise of the Tomb Raider. I thought it played fine, but there was something about it that just there's something about it I didn't really.
That
it
first
was good.
It had something to it. That first one was really fucking good.
It wasn't like when Uncharted 1 jumped to Uncharted 2 and it was like an infinitely better experience. It was like they almost took a step back, which was really disappointing. I don't know that it was bad.
They made it more open world.
Yeah, that might be part
same
of it.
shit Naughty Dog is doing with their games.
Yeah.
Like, I want a fucking linear third-person fucking adventure game. You know what I mean? Where I get to kill people, not apparently like this Indiana Jones shit they did, which is first-person where you just, like, run and hide and look for treasure. Like, I mean,
I really liked Indiana Jones, but I totally get what you're saying.
This James Bond game, I think, is going to hit all the boxes, I hope.
I hope so. It looks fucking rad. So we'll have to see next year when it comes out.
Yeah. All right. But anyways, I don't care about the other one you talked about, the Stellar Blade.
Phantom Blade.
Yeah. Don't care about it.
Okay. So did you see? So apparently, Sony was working with a company called Deviation Games. Sony was going to publish a game for them. The project got shut down. Most of the staff left. Sony poached like all of the important people from Deviation and put them in a new studio called like fucking like Dark Outlaw. I think that's what it's called, Dark Outlaw Studios or some shit. And the game, because I don't know if they didn't like what was being made at Deviation or they didn't like something about the studio makeup, that they shut the project down, poached half the talent, and then left Deviation to basically implode on itself. Well, anyway, footage from that game has apparently leaked. And I watched some of this footage because they posted it on Push Square, which is actually shocking to me that they did this, because you would think they wouldn't want to do that for fear of, like, you know, Sony being pissed at them. But I watched it, and it's all like very, very early like footage. It has like some concepts and stuff, but there's some sections where there's no textures and stuff where like the resolution's really bad and shit. But it looks very much, or looked very much like it's a third-person sci-fi shooter. It looks very much like a Gears of War, but it almost has this like Dead Space kind of vibe to it. Like Dead Space is much more survival horror. This game is much more like shootery and like soldiery. So there's a little bit of a mix up there. But I don't know. I thought it looked kind of interesting, but it didn't, like, what I saw in these leaks didn't really interest me. It's just kind of interesting to see, because we never get to see what happens with these canceled games. They usually just disappear forever. Nobody knows anything. Nobody sees anything. And it's just kind of cool to be able to see, like, behind the curtain a little bit on a game that will undoubtedly never come out. Although, whatever this Dark Outlaw studio is working on may end up looking a lot like this game. Although it probably won't be the same game because of, you know, copyright and weird stuff like that. So, did you look at this at all? Because I don't know what your thoughts were. I looked at it
with the understanding that it's very, very early footage of something they were working on and clearly not finished. I'm not a video game designer, so or whatever. It's hard to really imagine it with all the beautiful textures and lighting and stuff. It was something that would interest me, but the character movements look good in some parts. Other parts, the animations look like they were still really stiff and whatever. I'm sure they would have worked that stuff out. The general vibe of the game looks kind of interesting. I just, like you said, it's got a real Dead Space kind of vibe to it, I think. Or what was that other game made by the Dead Space maker that we both played that was like survival horror? You remember that one had the facial animation?
Oh, you're talking about Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, it had a little bit of that vibe to it also.
Yeah.
The one thing I thought that was kind of cool with the video that I saw here was that some of the enemies or some of the things going on seemed kind of big. Like there was like this big monster in a test tube, and it was enormous compared to like the player, and like they were experimenting with some scale, I think, in this game, which could have been kind of cool, but I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me either, but it did look interesting. And you're right. I wonder if they felt comfortable releasing this because I believe that Deviation disbanded completely. So there may actually be no rights to this game at this point. Maybe even if Sony wanted to do something, they couldn't. Dude,
I guess my thing would be like, if Sony had any ownership over this IP because they were funding it, then it could be that. But you're right. I mean, if Push Square is publishing it or publishing it on their website, it could be that it's just like there's nobody fucking cares about this anymore.
It was
some
like
guy
Signal.
some guy who got laid off at Signal Home probably posted all this shit online because he doesn't care
he said
anymore.
Signal Home.
Oh. Sorry, you
That's
started
hilarious. I was gonna say Signal Homes. I was gonna draw a comparison. You like read my mind or something. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah. You talk about that for a second. I gotta do something. Just 2 seconds.
You're good. Jake's gotta go charge his battery real quick. No, man. So Jake's not even going to comment on this, but when Signal Home had our record that came out that had Sony distribution, similar thing is we were on a label called Carbon Copy Media. And it was an imprint label of Victory Records, and that's how we got our distribution. But needless to say, when that label disbanded, I believe neither Sony nor Victory nor Carbon Copy Media had any rights to the music at that point because they were no longer considered a legal entity. So at that point, the music just returned to us. So I wonder if something like that happened with this game, where they're not a studio anymore. It could be. It was made under the legal name of Deviant Games or whatever, the Deviation Games, and now they're no longer a studio. It's just up for grabs, man. I don't know. It's curious, but go ahead, Jake. What do you have next?
So this next news point's a little bit interesting. So apparently, on the newest model version of the DualSense controller, Sony has optimized the battery life so that it lasts a lot longer. For those of you that are listening that have a PlayStation 5 and use the DualSense controller, you know that the battery life on those controllers is not the greatest. It lasts maybe 5-6 hours on a charge. And which is like a far cry from the old days where, like, for example, my controller for my Xbox lasts, like, I'm not even fucking around, like a month before I have to put new batteries in it. And it seems, and I have to charge my PlayStation controller like every other day because it like dies, after a few hours, like 5 hours of use. So apparently they've optimized this, and there was a, if you read the article on Push Square, they reference a tweet by a guy named Modificator Casper. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that sounds very. I didn't mean to butcher that guy's name, but he apparently tested the controller and it lasted for over 15 hours of continuous play with all DualSense features used. And that's a huge increase in battery life. So I don't know that I necessarily believe that it lasts 15 hours, but if it even lasts 10 hours, that's almost double the lifetime of the battery on the DualSense controller, which is fucking great. Now, I will say, this is on product codes CFI-ZCT2W, because if you know Sony product codes, that's what they look like. And I purchased a controller, as listeners know, on Black Friday. And my controller is a CFI-ZCT1W. So my controller is not this newer version of the DualSense. So I made kind of a note here in the news points in our document that says, I wonder if part of Sony having these controllers on sale is them just purging all of these old fucking versions of the controller at a lower price. Now, to be fair, like, they don't have no incentive to do this. I mean, people are going to buy DualSense controllers regardless. But this would allow them to basically, like, maybe in the near future come out with some sort of news hit that's like, our controllers now do fucking 15 hours of battery life or some shit. And it's like, if all of the old controllers for the most part are off of the market, they can kind of come out and say something like that, or they can get a little bit more third party publicity because of it, kind of like this. But when 80% of the controllers that are still on store shelves are not these controllers, then maybe that's an issue. Now, I will say that I have noticed that my new controller does get slightly better battery life than my old one did. But I think that's just age. I don't think it's anything other than that. I think it is probably the same controller. It's just newer.
Right.
But, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Fred, I don't know how long your controllers last, but I know, like, one of mine doesn't charge at all anymore, and the other one, like, lasts maybe 4 or 5 hours. And the new one I have lasts a little bit longer, but I still don't think it's lasting any longer than maybe, like, 6 hours.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, mine don't last very long, and I've always got one on the charger at all times.
Yeah.
Always got one on the
charger. Have you had any break?
Yeah, I've had 2 break, I think.
Okay, I didn't know if you were still using your.
Well, one had major stick drift that I couldn't fix, and I can't remember what happened to the other one.
It's so interesting because now I understand that the DualSense is a much more complicated controller, but dude, I still, like, when I packed my PS4 in a box and put it away, was still using my launch controller from the PS4.
Yeah.
Now, like, the rubber was all worn off on the stick edges and shit like that, but it still functioned. It still held a charge. I had no issues with it at all. So it's like, I wonder a little bit, part of me wonders, like, are these extra features worth it? I'm going to default to say that yes, they are. But first of all, I don't need a fucking microphone in my controller. It's fucking creepy and it's weird. The speaker's fine. I don't mind the speaker. Touchpad, don't need the fucking touchpad. But so many games use it now that it's like, you kind of almost have to have it.
Right.
The HD rumble is really cool. I won't lie. But it doesn't necessarily make or break my gameplay experience. The adaptive triggers, I don't need that at all. You can completely remove it. I don't care about it. But I understand that some people really enjoy it. So I almost wish that there was, like, you could buy like I wish that they made a patch or something that would allow you to just use the fucking DualSense. Like, make a DualShock 4 that's compatible with PS5.
Yeah. Because
I personally love that controller a lot more than the DualSense, but it's not compatible. You can't play PS5 games with it because it doesn't have some shit that doesn't matter. So, like, everything that matters is there. Like, it has the touchpad, it has the fucking speaker, it has the fucking, all the buttons are the same. Why can't I use this controller? But no, it's because it doesn't have the speaker vibration, and it doesn't have the fucking mic, and it doesn't have the fucking adaptive triggers. It's like, I don't know. It's very annoying from a peripheral perspective. But it's like it's not a hill I'm willing to die on. I mean, it's kind of a molehill, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that got so fucking tangential. But
dude,
yeah, apparently the new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
go ahead.
looking at it. It says with this new one, they removed a secondary microphone from the
Interesting.
controller. So
It should
I don't
have
know if
zero
that's...
microphones in it.
Well, it probably still has the jack, the port, the microphone port, but maybe not the one that records just room volume.
It has to have it, man. It has to have it because everyone that's the DualSense. So they would have to call it something else if it didn't have that in it.
What, the jack or
So-
the built-in microphone?
The built-in microphone, because it has that button and everything. So I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I have a hard time believing that they can do something like that without changing the model, changing the marketing for it and stuff.
I'm looking
I don't
on
know.
AI. It says the newer redesigned DualSense controller, often referred to as the V2, removed the secondary microphone, which was located in the lower part of the controller to improve battery life and efficiency. The main built-in microphone for voice chat remains, but the extra mic was taken out in 2025 revisions to extend playtime. The video shows you.
Why would that? Why would that
Video
fuck
shows
with
you
your
how to test
battery
the
life?
microphone on your DualSense controller.
I don't really get it. I mean,
A low power
very
microphone.
why does your I should be able to just not have it in there, or at least if I turn it off, it should not be powered anymore, and thus my battery life should be better. So it can't be that removing this microphone fucking tripled the battery life of the controller. It has to be something else.
I don't know,
Maybe there's
man.
a firmware update or something. I don't know, but it's very weird. So
All right, moving on.
yeah. So next, I don't know if you saw, there was a new game announced called Soul Shogunate, which is a really weird mix of a samurai, an arcade samurai game, and a sci-fi fucking space game. Mm-hmm. It looks really bizarre. It's almost like you took a samurai game and then you literally just launched it into space. And where all of the characters are very almost cyborg adjacent, but very samurai. It's very weird looking, but also very cool looking. It's got this weird vibe where it could be a little bit stinky, it could be a little janky, but it also could be really fun.
Dude, you know what this looks like exactly to me?
What's that?
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Yeah, I could get that. I can understand why you
and
say
some
that.
of the masks and stuff and the vibe, the machines,
Yeah, I
because
could
you fought
see
so
why you
many
say that.
machines in that game with a sword.
Yeah. Yeah, that game was interesting, and I know a lot of people really liked it. I never played it, to be honest. I played a demo for it, but I never actually played through the whole game.
Dude, go look at a video real quick of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance and tell me it doesn't look almost identical to this.
I'm looking at it right now. This
Just look for gameplay.
yeah, it's very
The moves.
it's very similar.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Yeah, dude. It reminds me of that. I think this game would be... The cut mechanic in Revengeance was hilarious. You could slow down time and just cut people's limbs off and cut them right in half and stuff. It was really ultra violent, dude. It was so cool. Revengeance was a great game. I'd like to see that come to PS5. Port that shit to PS5. That was a cool
Yeah,
game.
I think that the one thing that is a little bit weird, Rising is Kojima-fied, so he's putting the sword on his leg and kicking dudes with it, and all kinds of weird shit that is not probably gonna be, it doesn't look like is in this new game. But I totally get from the combat perspective. Like I said, it's very arcadey.
Yeah.
So it does have it has that vibe to it. So but yeah, I think it looks kind of neat. So I wanted to kind of shout that out. The next one, and this could end up being a big one. I don't know if you know anything about this, Fred. You're not really a PC person, so you probably maybe don't know about this. But there's a RAM shortage right now for DDR5, DDR6. I don't remember, whatever the new RAM is that everyone fucking is jerking off over. And there's a shortage. And the reason why there's a shortage is because all of these data centers that are fucking blowing up because of AI and stuff, they're buying up all of this RAM for all these data centers. And because there's a shortage, RAM for consumers, like if you want to build a gaming PC, to buy a stick of RAM, the price of that RAM has like more than doubled in the past few weeks because of this shortage. And what's crazy is that this is going to end up being a problem for the next PlayStation, for PlayStation 6, if this trend continues, if they don't find a way to make it happen. And because Sony, they have some purchasing power because they're going to sell millions of copies, but they don't have the purchasing power of fucking OpenAI, who is quite literally purchasing 40% of RAM production in the world. 40%.
Yeah,
Fred.
that's crazy.
For data centers for OpenAI. That is unbelievable. You know, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like trying to think of a good analogy. Oh, it's like think about it this way. Think about it, it's like, oh, I want to buy I want to buy a coffee pot. Well, it's like, oh, well, now you have to pay 3 times more for a coffee pot if you can get one at all, because Dunkin' Donuts has purchased 40% of the production of the world's coffee pots. Like, it's insane. I mean, obviously that doesn't share the same amount of gravity, but it's like, because RAM is a very mystical thing, I think, to a lot of people who don't know a lot about games and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I don't know shit about it, dude.
It's a very important component to these consoles and to PCs. And these data centers are literally just like rows upon rows of PCs that are running this cloud computing. And so you have a data center that probably buys thousands of PCs worth of RAM for one data center, and there's like hundreds or thousands of these things going up all over the world. So it's unbelievable. And then you have companies that made RAM previously. Like, I was reading a thing, I think it was actually maybe in this article that I linked here, where one of the major RAM developers was just like, yeah, we're just not making RAM for consumers anymore, because so much is being purchased by AI data center manufacturers. We're just not going to make it for people anymore to buy and put in their computers.
Of course not.
It's like, holy fuck. It's like, why wouldn't you? They can charge, OpenAI, maybe not a premium, but they know that they're going to sell them millions upon millions of RAM chips. It's like, fuck, man. That's going to shoot their value up like crazy. So, yeah, AI is just another way where AI is going to totally fuck everyone before the bubble bursts and it implodes and everything goes to shit. And we have a huge fucking recession and because of it and all this crap. It's going to be bad, people. I mean, I'm not even an economist, and I can tell you that it almost has to be a problem. There's no way that we're going to get out of this and a lot of these data centers aren't going to implode and these businesses aren't going to go under, and we're not going to feel the effects of that on the market.
Yeah.
And not just like us not being able to get a PS6, or the fact that our PS6 might cost $100 more because the RAM is twice as much. It could be like that literally your fucking retirement takes a hit because the data center bubble bursts and fucking we hit a recession worldwide. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. We've got to chase the trend. It's the newest technology. It is moderately making lives better or whatever. But yeah, it's a real problem this year and years to come.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I don't know much about it, but I do know that sounds like a big issue. All this
they're gonna take all our jobs, man. They're gonna take all our jobs. They're gonna take all our money. They're gonna take all our computer chips.
Have at it.
Will Smith's gonna have to come save us from iRobot.
Yeah. We'll slap us silly.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just fucking.
It's fucking late, dude. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you got next? I don't know much about RAM.
We just got two more kind of major news points, and then we'll kind of kick it off for the day. So regarding the EA, we talked about a few weeks ago. The EA is apparently going to be bought out. Someone's going to buy EA and make them private again. And it was a trio of companies, like investments, like 2 American-based like investment like equity firms or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the PIF, which is like the Saudi government, the Saudi Sovereign Investment Fund. Yeah. And it was like, okay, well, we knew that the Saudi fund, the money that they have was a lot more than these other 2, but it seemed like it was whatever. But here we're finding out now that apparently after this deal is done, the Saudi government is going to own 93.4% of EA, which this is fucking stupid, man. Like, can you... Like, why are we, like, why, as an American people, why are we allowing a huge American success story in a business be purchased and taken over completely by a foreign government? Doesn't that seem crazy? It's like how you have all these fucking, like, properties in the United States that are just being purchased by Chinese companies and used as Airbnbs. Yeah. And that's why Airbnb is a fucking ripoff now, and why like you go someplace and it's got like $1,000 cleaning charge and shit like that,
surcharges and shit. Yeah,
and like it's like, should we not like do something about this? And I'm not even trying to be political about it at all. It's just like,
well, it's just business sense.
It's like, dude, shouldn't we have that company? Like, shouldn't America have this company? Why are we letting the Saudi royal government buy out one of the 3 largest video game third parties in the world?
I'll say this. I'm glad that it's happening now, as opposed to when all of these mortgage companies got bought out. Because could you imagine if we allowed other countries to buy out our banks? I'm glad that didn't fucking happen. I would, man. Dude, I would rather it be this shit, but I would rather preferably have it be nobody buying out America-owned and ran companies. But it's the fucking nature of our world. It's crazy.
I mean, they have no reason to change things because they want to make money. But it's like, now you know, if you buy fucking whatever, Madden 26 or whatever the hell it is, now you know that is directly funding a government that is responsible for a lot of humanitarian atrocities. And that's crazy. But we can't do anything about it. We're just going to let it happen. Fuck it. YOLO. Because we don't want to, like, get involved in businesses, whatever. And I get it to a certain extent. We shouldn't.
Hasn't it slowly it's like, dude, and this isn't a political American politics or anything like that. It's just my understanding of what America used to be was that we looked out for one another. We just fucking, well, maybe not in every regard, but when it comes to like a business, like you could start off pushing a broom and then eventually be the fucking owner of the business, right? People respected your loyalty. People respected your commitment, your drive, your work ethic, all these things. And we tried to be the leader of a lot of emerging technologies and the steel industry and all these things. But nowadays, man, we're all fucking whores for money. And it's like, how fast can I get the most money possible? And it's just none of that other shit matters anymore. Tradition, as far as like the foundations of what companies are built on, the staff in the companies don't matter anymore. The healthcare that your jobs provide don't even fucking matter anymore. Everything's overpriced. They want to pay bottom dollar to keep you on their payroll so you can put out stuff at minimal cost and they can just capitalize. That's all that most of American business is these days. And it's so sad. And it's just like, I just don't know when that switched, when that whole prideful mentality changed in this country. And I don't know, man. it's a really easy solution, but it's gonna hurt the pocketbooks. Is like we just all have to start giving a shit again, and not give our money.
Well, yeah,
to all
part
these
of it
other
is,
places.
so much of it is like how our system is built here too.
Yeah,
it's like,
right, exactly.
The people that run these businesses have a legal obligation to do what is best for the company from a fiduciary standpoint, and a lot of times the easy way to do that is to just sell the company for shitloads of money to the highest bidder. Who gives a fuck who it goes to? And it's like, yeah.
Dude,
it must be nice. I'll be honest with you, man. If I had a business and fucking Tencent came in and was like, I'll give you $100 million for this business, I would sell that fucking thing so fast you could not imagine. But I'm also coming at that from the perspective of somebody who has to work every day for the money that pays my bills. Maybe if I was already filthy fucking rich, I wouldn't make that decision. But if I'm still me making a middle class salary, if someone walks through the door with that kind of money, I'm going to take it. Within reason, obviously. If they're like, yeah, we're definitely going to use this money to fucking kill gay people, then it's like, okay, well, I'm not doing that. But you get kind of where I'm coming from. I mean, it's very... The system is just so like our system should actively discourage these types of transactions. Yeah. Maybe you can keep encourage this type of stuff as long as it stays within America, but we shouldn't be allowing these things to be sold to these foreign governments.
Well, what's interesting, man, I agree with you. And again, the fiduciary responsibility, again, is just like we've become a whore to money, right? That just means financial responsibility. It's just like, when will that stop mattering as much as having pride in what we're doing over here and not selling ourselves out to other places? I don't know.
I mean, the problem is that, let's say my fucking retirement account is partially invested in EA. So it's like, yeah, of course, I want them to make as much money as possible because when I retire, I want more money for me to be able to retire. Yeah. So it's like it trickles all the way down. Yeah. It's not just but unfortunately, the guys like me with my retirement account, I don't even know that it's invested in EA.
Yeah.
And so I just want my account to succeed. So it's very complicated.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate.
I think the bird's eye view question is just at what cost are we willing to continue down this road, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much because I guarantee you that if EA wanted to, they could sell to other entities that are not the Saudi royal family.
Sure. But that's where the most money probably came from, dude.
And make almost the same. I'm not saying they're going to make whatever it is, 30, 60 billion dollars, whatever the fuck it is. But they'd still probably make billions and billions of dollars.
How would you feel if you were employed by EA?
Well, considering as soon as this buyout happens, the PIF is going to probably fucking shut down half of their shit so that they can pay this debt back. I wouldn't feel very good from a moral perspective or a job security perspective.
So again, it's just a company not looking out for their workers. They know that that's going to happen when they make this deal.
Dude, we don't in America, these big businesses, there's no incentive to worry about the workers anymore.
I know.
It's all about growing the business.
Right, it sucks.
Financially. From a fiscal optics perspective.
On the graph, you want the line to go up and to the right.
Not from an actual value perspective, from what you or I would perceive as value.
Yeah.
From what somebody who cooked the books, how they were able to make that line go up. That's all that matters anymore. It's very frustrating.
Dude, I was looking at how much Musk makes a day, Elon. It says on average, even though he has he doesn't really have a salary. It says if you were to average it, he makes $23 million an hour.
Yeah.
It's just fucking sick. It's just sick.
That's like across all his businesses, right? Like
that's
the money that his
net worth, his stocks, all that shit. Yeah, but still,
but it's still crazy. Like we're gonna very, very quickly here. There's going to be a person in the world that has a net worth of $1 trillion.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
And we have a middle class that is completely evaporated to the point where
we're going on a rant now, dude.
Most people can't even fucking afford to pay their student loans and their mortgage.
Or their fucking weekly groceries, dude.
And then you've got people that are like, oh, sorry, I can't come to your birthday party because I have to take possession of my 5th yacht. It's like, come on, guys. Maybe we should. I'm not even, dude. We
digress. Let's get back to games.
I could go on it. Yeah. So last news point here. We've known for a little bit that Warner Brothers was trying to sell. Obviously, they're, Warner Brothers. They have like CNN and shit, but they also have like HBO, and they own fucking Harry Potter, and they own like DC, and they own all this stuff, and Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've been trying to sell for a while, and apparently Netflix they're gonna buy them for like $83 billion, I think it was. And they get pretty much everything but, I think, the TV networks. I don't think they were going to get CNN or one of the other public ones. But so they come out and they say they're going to buy it, which is interesting because if you think about it, they have like HBO, I think HBO and Max and Discovery. I think all that's part of Warner Brothers. So is Netflix now going to have all of the HBO shit? Which would be kind of cool. Like, if I could just fucking get rid of HBO Max and now everything is on Netflix, it would give me incentive to go back to Netflix. Because right now I fucking hate Netflix. I kind of wish I could just cancel it. But every now and again, there's something on it that I want to watch. So that's been kind of in the books. And this would really put Netflix in a position to be able to make games. Because I think that they would own studios like Rocksteady and Avalanche and stuff like this. Although I don't know if Warner owns Avalanche, the company that made Hogwarts Legacy, but they would own the IP and everything. So, but another like wrinkle is like just today or yesterday, Paramount came out and was like, yeah, that's great and all, but we're going to attempt a hostile takeover of Warner Brothers to try and capture it away from Netflix. Which is crazy because they're basically just going to the shareholders directly and being like, we're just going to offer everyone $30 a share so that we can perform a hostile takeover. And then now we will own the company and just basically steal it away from Netflix. Now, I don't know anything about how this type of stuff works and how hostile takeovers happen. And like, I think literally they just have to own like 51% of the shares or 50% plus one share for them to like own the company and be able to essentially reverse this decision to sell to Netflix. But it's kind of crazy. I mean, that would be wild if they actually succeeded in performing a hostile takeover. I don't know if the board of directors at Warner Brothers has any like say in whether or not this is allowed to happen. But
I don't know.
It seems like it's kind of a crazy thing going on right now with Warner Brothers that people are really fighting over them. And from a games perspective, I mean, we're just gonna see where it shakes out and like where companies like Rocksteady and where the Harry Potter games go and the DC movies and games go and how this is all affected because specifically with a company like Rocksteady, anybody could probably run them better.
My husband
Warner
used to
Brothers
ejaculate.
I mean, dude, freaking Suicide Squad was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to see what happens if either one of ththese companies gets a hold of it.
Dude,
but I'm just totally. Could you imagine just something like this happening? I don't know. It's just fucking crazy.
Dude, I'm like laughing so hard right now, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I was pulling up a trailer for this game, and it was in YouTube. And I thought I had YouTube muted, and I got one of these weird ads, and it just said, "My husband prematurely ejaculates And then I muted it immediately, but it's on the podcast, and that's going to be so fucking funny. I have no idea why it came up as that. I swear to God, it's so funny, man.
Dude, I love how the internet just like knows when you reach a certain age. Because like I get fucking emails all the time that are like, it's like, come on, like you don't know anything about me. Why are you sending me fucking dick pills?
Dude, I get shit about balding all the time because I started shaving my head, and I think it knows my purchases. Like I bought like a skull shaver, and But I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off, but the listeners are going to hear that and have no context. It's like the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. That's going to go down in like some show history notes there.
That's
so fucking
that's funny.
rad.
Anyway, that's really all I had to say. I mean, I just think that it's really wild what's going on there, and I'm curious to see how it kind of plays out.
Well, the reason I brought that up, I agree. I'm just curious to see how that comes out. But the reason I brought that up is because I was getting onto our Patreon, and our buddy Ryan from Australia, our Down Under boy, he wrote me about a month ago, dude, and we dropped his name about a month ago, about 3 or 4 episodes ago, and he responded like he should have, and I just missed it. I didn't even see it. Never wrote him back. He's probably like, fuck these guys. I'm so sorry, Ryan. He did send a link to this game called Dark Quest 4. And it definitely is a video game, and it has major Hero Quest vibes, and he wanted to share it with me. So I got on. I went to the Dark Quest 4 game launch, whatever it is, the launch trailer. And it's essentially Hero Quest on a fucking game, which is cool. It's like grid movement, all these different characters. I see some barbarians, some wizards. Super cool. I wonder if there's like a overarching story. I see some card decks, some ogres. Dude, this looks dope. I would love to play it with a group of people. It's you can tell it's made by like a smaller publisher or whatever, or developer. But the other thing that he wrote on here, which I thought was interesting, and I'll share it real quick, and then we'll get into new games coming out. He just said, because we did talk about him having a podcast, he said he really appreciated the shout out. He said, glad things are going good aside from being exhausted. He was the listener who was concerned about me. So I appreciate it, Ryan. Yeah. And he said, my podcast is called For the Players, the Pop C PlayStation Podcast. And he says, I would 100% love to jump on an episode with you gents. I'll happily accommodate the time zone too. I think it's about 16 hours difference between here in Melbourne and you guys in PA. Let's make it happen. So there we go. There's an official thing. Maybe we'll get Ryan up on the show, dude. He's also the guy who told us about Discord, to use Discord for the video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same dude.
16 hours. So if we started at 6 o'clock, that would be 10 a.m. his time.
Right now it would be 10 in the morning.
Well, right now it's probably noon there, right about noon.
Dude, we could totally make that work.
Well, yeah, we'd have to probably do it so it's not during a work day or something. But yeah. I mean, that would be kind of cool. It'd be cool to have someone else jump on and see his perspective from the upside down.
Yeah. Ryan, hit us up on psthisisawesome@gmail.com. We'll work it out. We'll get you on an episode. We'll send you some show notes so you can review, and if you want to talk about your podcast stuff, we can do an episode. It'd be fun.
Could see how horribly unprofessional this operation is.
Yeah. That my immediate response was, that's why we're a terrible podcast. We just don't get back to people. And then I wrote again, I was like, we're not a terrible podcast. We just don't engage with our listeners very well, apparently. We're a great podcast. Thanks for writing in, Ryan. Sorry to hit you so late. Almost like an afterthought. a month-long afterthought. He's
probably on his lunch break at work right now, being like, oh, I got a response from Fred.
Yeah, he's probably fucking cruising down whatever highway they have over there or whatever. In his car, his Patreon blowing up. But thanks, man. Hopefully we can get more people to jump into the Patreon. We do respond to you just a month late, apparently. But you guys should all join up. $1 a month. In Ryan's case, too, because he's an Aussie. Anyways, let's figure this out. New game's coming out December 8th. Skate Story. We talked about this briefly last episode. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2, or Yakuza, however you want to say that word. My brother, interesting enough, is getting into a Yakuza game because the turn-based one, and he said he bought it. He was really interested in it. So I didn't think it was really his kind of game, but he was itching for some turn-based shit. So hey, when Black Friday deals are right, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. The 9th, we're getting Unbeatable. We're getting Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. And we're also getting a game about digging a hole, which is what it's called. And then December 12th, the one that kind of looks interesting to me is Terminator 2D, No Fate.
Dude, this game looks fucking sick.
It does look cool, doesn't it?
This might bring me out of my mode, my gaming lag right now.
It looks pretty cool, dude. It looks like an old NES shooter, dude.
It looks so fucking rad.
Is it a rendition of an old game?
I don't think so. I think it's literally just just a new game. They just made.
I hope it's
to
good.
Look like an old SNES game or something.
Mm-hmm. It looks cool. It's getting a physical release also, which is interesting. So there's that.
Well, I think this game was supposed to come out a few months ago, and they delayed it because the physical release wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. They should have just released it because it looks super cool.
Yeah, so crazy. But yeah, man, I don't know. That's all I got. Jake, are you good? It's 8 o'clock. We've been at it all day. I was up at 6:30 this morning, and now it's 8 p.m. Well over the 12-hour mark of being alive and awake, and I'm mentally and physically exhausted at this point. You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks for tuning in to episode 404 of PS This Is Awesome. This episode has been titled The Game Awards Raider, and we'll see what happens at the Game Awards. When are the Game Awards again, Jacob? Do you remember when they are airing?
I think they're Thursday.
So they will be
11th.
This week. We'll have much more to talk about next week. So join us again next Monday if you're a patron of the show, and next Wednesday if you're not. And we will talk about the Game Awards, what we took away from it, and other shit. So thanks. Tell your friends. Be kind to one another. And watch out for deer. Like Hammer Watch, Hamsterdam, and Hammer and Hero. P.S.
P.S.
This is awesome.
Awesome.